Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nefarious Reels podcast. This is episode number 4. I'm your host, Cole.
And I'm Cole's dog. Bark, bark.
Yeah, my dad just came home, and he always goes ballistic whenever he does. So, yeah,
Well,
I don't know why, but it just happens.
but no, I tricked you. I'm actually an Jedi. I gotcha. My barking tricked you. But it was actually
The
me,
old,
Ninja Jedi, the whole time.
the old switcheroo.
Yep, got him.
All right, so we got another set of movies, obviously, today, and we're going to start off with mine, which is the retro pick, and that is Reefer Madness from 1936.
Don't you
It was
mean
also,
tell your children?
I was about to say that. It is, the working title before it was Tell Your Children,
And
and
better.
the whole movie is basically kind of a story about the negative effects about marijuana cigarettes and how these kids would get the marijuana, and it was through like these weird jazz dance parties, basically.
Yeah, the little hideaways.
Yeah, and like the dealers were like these. I wouldn't exactly say like older. They're kind of like more middle aged, but they would be selling to these kids, and it was just kind of weird that these older folks would be want to selling drugs to kids unless they were like cops or something.
They just
But
seem
they
to kind of
weren't.
old. They just sell, I guess, because it's like, oh, we gotta target the youth because the youth are the one
Yeah,
that's gonna like get addicted to the marijuana. Because
yeah.
they
You
spell it
just
with an H in the movie, which is a little weird because it's
yes,
spelled with a J now.
yeah. I saw that when they had like that little thing at the beginning. When they have like that little disclaimer about the movie that's gonna shock you. I'm
Yeah,
like, why is it spelled with an H? I don't know if that was a thing before. It just looked really
I
weird.
have no idea. But every time they said marijuana, I just said out loud marijuana,
Marijuana, yeah.
marijuana.
Which was weird too because I had subtitles on. I was watching through Amazon Prime,
I got the
and it
Blu-ray.
had it spelled marijuana with the J, like how you usually would spell it.
I don't
So it
know.
was very confusing.
They're behind the times. You have to understand, Cole. It was a different time back then. They didn't know any better.
Yeah, they didn't know how to sell marijuana to kids and knowing what the actual dangerous effects are because it was kind of like the similar ones you would see today where it's like they're just kind of giggly
And
and maybe a little reckless. That was like it.
and then they
And
just
one committed mans
fucking, murder, apparently.
yeah, and one committed vehicular manslaughter.
No, he didn't. Well, yeah, well, he didn't
Okay,
die.
it was more of
It
a
was a
hit and
hit
run.
and run.
Yeah,
Get your
it was a hit
lore
and run.
right, Cole. Oh my god, did you even watch the movie?
Yeah.
I do kind of want to point out that for a film that's kind of well known and like it's like so bad circles, it's like kind of the like on the echelon of like how well known it is. Like you'd see
Mm-hmm.
Reefer Madness in like a list of like 100 bad movies you need to watch, but it'll be like
Yep.
number 80. Like it's not like
Yeah.
this like highly well. It's known enough for people to be like, oh, ever heard of a Reefer Madness, but not enough where it's gonna people are gonna you're gonna see it like in a top 10 list or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't have like the same reputation it's as like something like, The Room or Birdemic, something like that.
Yeah. And it's weird because hearing about like so much. Maybe it's because I've heard enough times through like the internet that when I kind of watched Reefer Madness, I was actually a little disappointment because it's like not weird for a film about like drugs and like its terrifying effects. It's like kind of really just straightforward and
Mm-hmm.
like simple.
Yeah, I was a little annoyed by that because I was hoping because when that one doctor was like with the government official, they were talking about like these stories with the
The axe
marijuana
murders.
cases. Like I wanted like dramatizations of them.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Though I will admit, there's something that's not the movie's fault, but it's like my own fault. But to get off topic, I once saw a clip from like this old movie, and there's like this couple talking to each other, but there's also this
Mm-hmm.
giant bird in the room with them. And I'm not talking about there's like a big like parrot. No, there's like a little like bird that's like been like grown to like a huge size just in the background. And then later the husband goes, tell the bird I care about it. And then the woman just goes, or something like that, or like some weird noise. And I thought that was going to be in Reefer Madness because like only like drugs would let you do that. and it's not in the movie. And that's not really a fault of the film alone, but I kind of raised my own expectation with a scene that never happened in the movie.
Yeah, that's disappointing. That would have actually made it a little more fun to watch at times because I felt kind of bored at times, even with it being so short of a runtime.
That yeah, it's really short, which in a sense is a bit of a plus
That is
because
true.
it goes really fast. Like I remember checking the time, I was like, oh hey, I only have like 10 minutes left. Where in a normal watch, where we're sitting for like 100 minutes, I'm like, oh my god, I still have like over half an hour to go.
That was getting a little off topic myself. That was how I felt on Saturday night watching Dragon Ball Evolution.
I still need to watch that. I'm gonna
I
watch it
was like,
tomorrow.
I'm halfway through and I just can't take it.
I have a feeling I'm probably gonna be enjoy this more than everyone else.
Oh,
But
what? No.
I mean, maybe we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
But now we're really getting off topic because now we're jumping to a whole different group entirely.
Okay. Yeah, let's get back to
Let's get back
Kill Your
to
Children.
tell your Reefer Madness, the drug movie.
The pre-Dare movie.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that do you think that people would still show like this film to like maybe minors or something? Because it is a very straightforward. It doesn't get like weird or anything. It's very straightforward. Hey, this is marijuana. You're gonna if you smoke it, you'll get giggly, but you're gonna be like irresponsible. It's gonna ruin your life.
You're gonna commit hit and runs.
You're gonna commit a hit and run if you're not careful. You'll lead to someone getting killed.
You might have a case of the munchies.
You'll become bad at tennis by like a few feet apparently.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I totally now forgot about that one. But seeing that was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like really hard
Yeah,
to
that
talk
one
about
was
because it's
funny.
just a lot of scenes.
It's like a lot of scenes compiled, but it leads to nothing
Well, no, it
almost.
leads to things, but nothing really too
But
interesting.
yeah, nothing too much. It's kind of surface level.
There is one kind of humorous thing because our main character, I think Timmy, is that his name?
Timmy.
Tommy? It's like something like that.
Shit.
But there's like a scene where he's with his like parents and his like I guess younger brother. And then
Oh,
the younger
Bill.
brother's like, "You have a boyfriend," and he's like, "I'll show you, you little
Yeah, no, it was
rapscallion."
Bill.
Oh, it's Bill. That's his name.
Yeah.
I was getting
Timmy
close.
was the name of the kid in the other movie we're talking about.
Oh, okay, of course. How can I forget that movie? Our main lead in Reefer Madness, I feel this is like a lot older than he like should be. Or like he kind of acts like he's like 13 or 14 in that like scene when it's like with his family and like his brother's teasing him. That was a little weird.
Yeah, and then they like start running around almost fighting. The dad's
Yeah.
like, just let them do it. Boys
Well,
will be boys.
boys will be boys. And then the guy next to him said, "Boys will be boys." And then the guy on the grill said, "Boys will be boys," as the whole line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm a little upset. The piano player, not the one at the main party, but at the not bar. I guess the
Not
soda
not
fountain, the soda bar. I guess I'm gonna
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But like he smokes marijuana. I was ready for him to go fucking crazy.
Like just go off on the piano, just like rip some new music and
No, he was gonna start playing badly, and he was gonna have a whole freak out. And they're like, "What was that?" And they go, "I don't know. He was just fine yesterday, but we, the audience, would know it was the marijuana." And that would be like the warning, the premonition of
yes.
what would come. But no, he just makes them giggly and fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's only marijuana that can do that, nothing
No
else.
other drugs.
No other drugs or even alcohol.
Nope. No,
Nope.
alcohol's good for you. Down it
Oh,
with a
alcohol is
nice
good.
glass of our medicinal Coke made with real cocaine to give you the energy you need in the
Yes.
day. And then smoke a pack of Marlboro Reds for the common man. But
Now we're getting to the
marijuana,
marketing of the 30s.
well, well, those are good things. We have to sell the teenagers what is good. Smoking is good, unless it's marijuana.
But
Then it's
not
bad.
marijuana.
Marijuana is bad.
Any of the cigarettes, fine. Marijuana, no. You will die if you smoke marijuana.
You smoke marijuana, your lungs will go bad. Smoke regular cigarettes to make your lungs stronger for when you
And
have to go work in the
more
coal
black.
mines.
Then you'll have the same experience as a coal miner.
Yep. You'll already have those miner's lungs for ready when you're going down there. I guess the issue with it being short, there isn't too much to say about Reefer
No.
Madness either. I guess the court scene and they parody 12 Angry Men
Yes, I was
or
hoping they would have went a little more into like the jury discussion because I was like, are we gonna get our juror number
wait,
8 who
hold on.
just
When did 12 Angry Men come out? Did this technically beat it
nine
to the punch?
the movie was 57.
Dude, this
I'm
came
gonna
out in
check.
36.
I want to see when the play or the book.
Oh, right.
Maybe the let's look at the book
The book might
first.
be earlier, but this came out, at least going off of what my Blu-ray says, this came out in 1936.
It says the book was like published in 54.
Oh my god. Reefer
So I
Madness
think
inspired 12 Angry Men.
yeah.
And if anything, Reefer Madness was more diverse than 12 Angry Men because there are women in the jury.
Oh yeah, way more.
This film is more progressive than 12 Angry Men.
They actually had a few women, I think,
There
if I
was at least
remember.
two.
Like a couple.
One of the more funnier moments was when the one guy was ranting about how guilty the guy is, and then there's like this swinging light thing, and turns into the news. It's like, we have to fucking kill this kid for doing marijuana. Well, no, because it was murder. It
Yes,
wasn't.
it was a murder case.
It was technically a murder case. They were not killing him for marijuana, but that might have been. No, that was probably. Originally, it was probably just life in prison, but then they learned he smoked marijuana. Now
So
he
the
has
death
to
penalty.
die for his crimes. I can forgive first degree murder, but
But
marijuana
when it's
smoking
under
crosses
the
the
influence
line.
of marijuana, you will die.
You will die. If not from smoking it, from us killing you. But
God.
there's a lot of death in this movie actually.
Yeah.
Not just mention
Especially
death,
for
but people die in this film.
and yeah, especially for like 1936.
Someone gets
It was a
shot,
little
which is
shocking.
yeah, there's someone gets shot, which is the cataclysm, where they basically frame. Well, our main lead, Bill, he doesn't kill his sister. I think it's his sister he kills, right? It's his sister he kills, isn't
Um
it? There's like two characters that look very similar between Bill and someone else, and then one of them is the
yeah,
sister. The other one he's like dating. I think it's his sister that gets killed.
that sounds right, but I just could not remember anything. It's just kind of forgettable.
But yeah, basically, Bill kills his sister. No, Bill doesn't kill his sister. Bill saves his sister from the other guy who is trying to grape the sister.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically the drug dealer guy shows up with the gun and tries to stop him. And then in their struggle, the drug guy shoots the sister. And because Bill is high on marijuana, he doesn't remember that, which allows the drug guy to frame Bill for the crime. And that's what leads to our court, where Bill gets sentenced to death. But the drug guy is keeping the rapist and another girl that's there. They're keeping them in the apartment so they don't like squeal. And the grape guy goes insane from all the marijuana he's smoking, which leads to a quarrel that gets called on because apparently a gunshot, no one heard that, but the fight that's happening right now, the landlady actually hears. To call the police to arrest the three of them, not the drug guy, the drug dealer, he's gone. He left. It arrests the girl that's there, the grape guy, and then another lady who's like in cahoots with the drug dealer, in which the random girl confesses to everything that happened before she then kills herself out like the window, which was funny. Which is unfortunately was one of the more funnier moments of this movie.
Yeah, I would agree so.
They show her dead on the ground though. I'll give them that proper respect. They could have easily just had him look out the window and go, "Oh," but no, they show her dead on the ground
But they show the dead body.
because marijuana kills.
Big props.
Big props. Well, marijuana is bad, so that's selling it.
Yes, it
the
is.
cataclysm to all this death and destruction is marijuana. And
I will say too, I did kind of chuckle when the hit and run happened because it just was so sudden that I just couldn't hold my laughter in for that.
that whole driving scene is funny. Because he asks for a smoke, the drug dealer guy gives him marijuana,
Marijuana.
which I forget also leads to another scene that I found funny, where they're talking about it, and then another drug dealer comes in and he's like, I'm not going to serve marijuana to the kids. And he's just like, okay, well, I'll just get you killed off if you don't. Get out of here, goodbye. But then when he comes back, the marijuana makes him so high that he erratically drives, hits an old dude, and then just keeps going. Not even once. Not even once should you smoke marijuana, or else you'll just go crazy.
Crazy and giggly.
Crazy and giggly. Speaking of crazy, after the girl reveals the truth that it was the drug dealer guy, Bill gets acquitted, but is kept around to show what the effects of marijuana will really do to you, bringing out the grape guy, who is now deemed insane and has to live to an insane asylum for the rest of his life. And he should be lucky that he wasn't sentenced to murder for smoking marijuana.
Very lucky.
I don't know. I guess it's because they put in a plea deal. I bet that's probably what saved them at that point.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then with that warning, we told if we're not careful, it can happen to your daughter or your son.
Your dog.
Or yours.
Or you.
Or
Or
yours.
you.
No, it's to yours because it's for the parents.
Oh, right.
Yeah, or yours. Or yours.
Or
and he
you.
points to the screen and I go,
at you.
And I scream.
And I'm like, me?
Yep. Your kids. Your dogs, Cole.
Yeah, my dogs. Under
Your
the influence
dogs.
of marijuana.
Or your dogs. Or yours. Or yours.
The
But,
cats are fine, though. They got their catnip.
oh, that's good. Smoke catnip, kids. It's legal.
Catnip greater than marijuana.
Yep, marijuana.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Juana.
I don't know. Is there really anything else to talk about Reefer Madness? Do you have any fun facts other than tell your children?
Oh, yeah. On the Wikipedia, do you want to guess how much the budget was?
$200.
100,000. But doing that,
yeah, they had to
with
buy all the
inflation-
marijuana.
Well, it was like it was some private group that was funding the movie, so I guess, yeah, they just had a lot of money for that. And
I just realized I forgot one scene. Sorry, you finish your thing and I'll say it.
yeah, and when it's adjusted for inflation, the budget in 2019 dollars would have been $1,843,000.
Incredible.
That's how much the budget was for this movie.
We forgot to talk about the starting
Oh, yeah.
scene where they just explain how people are smuggling marijuana.
Yes.
Which is goofy
Yes,
in its
in
own
the
way.
heels.
Yeah, in the heels.
and it can-
You can find it in a barrel. And I don't know why,
And,
but I
like-
always found it funny when they're just like, and we're burning these drugs, in a furnace. And they're just shoveling drugs into the furnace. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, they're doing it so people can all inhale it and get high on the influence of marijuana.
Marijuana.
Juana.
It's a dangerous job, burning drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might get a whiff of that marijuana and will have to put you to death. Or rule you insane if you're lucky. That's best case scenario. Don't do marijuana, kids. Do crack instead.
Crack, heroin, cocaine, everything
Catnip.
else.
Everything else is fine.
Catnip.
But marijuana, that reefer,
Crocodile. that
don't
damn
take the reefer, don't take the joint.
It'll
Don't
make
do
you
it.
go insane.
Not even once. And that's really all I gotta say about Reefer Madness.
Yeah, same here.
Like, to give it credit, I wasn't bored, I guess. I mean, for like a 1936 drug propaganda film, it's competent enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe if I watch Sex Madness as like a companion piece, that's also on the Kino
Oh my God.
Classic Something Weird Blu-ray combo. Maybe by comparison, oh hey, Reefer Madness is a better film. I don't know. That's my own fault. I didn't feel like committing to watching a film that wasn't recommended.
I actually just remembered something else too. When like you would see the camera shots, there was a lot of like crackling sounds I would hear.
Oh really?
Like anytime there was like a shot during the scene. I'm not sure if it was just like through Amazon or,
I don't remember any.
but it seemed like you hear the
crackling.
grainy crackling.
I don't
Maybe
know.
that's just me.
It might have
maybe
been
I was
just
a little
because you're watching it on
too-
Amazon. Because I bet that's probably like a 720p version.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, Jeff?
I don't know. I bought a Blu-ray, and they probably like cleaned up a lot of that stuff. So maybe they got like a better
Maybe.
audio thing, and you just got a shittier one.
Yeah, fuck you,
Or
Jeff
maybe I just wasn't
Bezos.
paying attention to it because I was too busy doing the marijuana.
Oh, were you on the marijuana
No, I
watching
wasn't.
this?
I was
Okay.
joking. I caught a whiff of that 1920s furnace marijuana. So, I was baked.
Hmm.
The residues from evil. Ironically, this is the second film about marijuana that we watched for Nefarious
Yes.
Reels. Actually,
Yep. But this one didn't have Tommy Chong.
it did not have Tommy Chong. Well, he would have been in this if he was asked, but he was too busy being not born.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah, well, maybe next time. Maybe in the music, he's in the musical adaptation.
Yeah, I saw there's the Reefer Madness movie musical.
I don't know. One day we might talk about it because I wouldn't mind checking out the Reefer
Let's see who
musical.
else is in this.
Maybe the Big Bird will be in that one. Maybe I'm just thinking maybe it's the remake.
The cast is all right in it. Kristen Bell, Nev Campbell, Alan Cumming.
Heh, coming.
Yeah, I know.
But
Okay, that's like the first few names I could see.
I hope Tommy Chong's in it because I feel like he would have been a great role. He could have been the drug dealer.
I'm scrolling, I'm not seeing him
No, he
yet,
can
and
be
I'm
the great
upset.
guy.
Oh God.
Hey man, how about hand over some more of them reefers?
Yeah, give me those reefers, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's all I have to say about Reefer
Yeah.
Madness. It was a fine movie. A little shocked how this is kind of like how well known it kind of is, like
And
a
little substance it felt.
and how not
That
really
was
that
just
much
me.
in it. It might just be a fault of the times because I've seen a handful of these kind of like bad, like old
Hmm.
1930s to 50 movies, and for the most part, they're just kind of bland. They're like okay at best. With only
Yeah.
like a three films off the top of my head that I've like actually come to enjoy. I can't mention two of them because I might want to talk about them one day on here. I don't want to
Oh,
spoil
I
it, but
okay.
Plan 9, which we've talked about episode 1, which I don't know after the discussion, but at least before we were doing this, it is our favorite film we've talked about on here. I can't say, I don't say anything, but at this point, because we haven't talked about the movies yet, we haven't asked which one's our favorite, but pre this discussion, I'm confident it was our favorite. You agree?
Yeah, I would agree for now.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Reefer Badness, and I guess unless you have anything else to say, we can move on to the next movie already.
No, I kind of want to talk about this one a little more.
I just so you got a little bit more to say.
Yeah. No. For the next one.
Oh, you wanna move on to the next movie now?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's move
okay.
on.
So next was the modern film, and that was my pick. I chose that movie, and what we ended up discussing, and as I mentioned before, it got a Blu-ray release, and that was the reason why I wanted to talk about it. And we did Suburban Sasquatch by Dave Wascovich. That Wascovich.
Wascovich season.
Yeah. But to give a basic synopsis, there is a Sasquatch that is killing people in a neighborhood, and there's a journalist who wants to figure out why these murderings are happening, and there's also an Indian lady that is also hunting down the Sasquatch because she was sent to it on a mission by her grandfather, and then there's also these cops that are also investigating this, and they're just trying to figure out how to take down this suburban Sasquatch. And I think that's I think that's the pretty much the synopsis. I don't know. Let me look at the blue
Sounds
back
like
of
a
my
pretty good
box.
synopsis.
Here, I'll cheat. I'll just read the back of the box.
Oh, yes.
When a giant bloodthirsty Bigfoot goes on a killing spree in a sprawling suburban park area, it's up to a couple of park rangers, a reporter, and a mystical Native American warrior to try to stop Sasquatch's limb-ripping, blood-drinking, and massive pictorial rampage. Yeah, fucking Sasquatch is fucking
Oh,
ripped in this movie. Big old titties.
big old tiggle bitties.
He's got some
It's
massive
like
nipples.
goddamn big honkers.
So I've seen this film before. So I'm not gonna say can't give my first impressions on this because I've seen this film before. So I'm gonna actually pass it off to you
Okay.
because I know this is your first time. You didn't even have
Yes, it
this on your
is.
watch list when I recommended this. So this
Hmm.
is pretty much you had no idea what this was, And so this is your first time experiencing this film. So what did you think of Suburban Sasquatch?
I kind of loved it. It's
Wow,
so
really?
freaking stupid, but oh my god, it was so much fun to watch, especially when the Sasquatch is starting to kill people. I thought that was the funniest thing.
I mean, that your first, I won't deny it. You first see that full Sasquatch in full view, you definitely releases some serotonin in your brain.
Mm-hmm. No, I especially love like how much damage he takes throughout the whole movie. Like he could have 50 arrows shot into him, bleeding out, but he'll still live, or he'll
He
just
gets
walk past
shot with
someone
an
and then disappear.
arrow, and then blood just bursts out of him like a fire hose.
Like a water fountain
Yeah, like
almost.
it just shoots out. It's a pretty simple movie. Is it actually? Is it a simple movie? It's just
Mm,
Suburban Sasquatch attacks people over and over again, and in between those scenes, it's just all the other characters doing stuff, and then occasionally they'll run into the Sasquatch.
I mean, we do get a little bit of the backstory of why this one cop was like trying to figure out the Sasquatch and why
Yeah,
he moved from
right.
Oregon, I think it was, when
Yeah,
he
he
was with
was
his wife
married,
before
and then the
she,
Sasquatch came and stole her,
yeah, like stole her, and
and
then he does his like vanishing trick where he'll just like walk 5 feet and then just disappear.
yeah, magic.
And then every time the Sasquatch is on screen, you get like that weird same sound effect that
I mean, oh, 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 oh. See, that's what the intro should have been for this episode. That should have been a perfect opening. I hope people are ready because we're gonna be making that noise for the
a
rest of our
lot.
discussion. Anytime we mention the Sasquatch appearing, one of us will make something like that. There's a lot of
Uh,
fun scenes, but I feel like the best scenes of this movie are only when the Sasquatch are there, or the
oh,
cops. No, that doesn't
I
count.
would say so.
When we mention specific scenes where the Sasquatch shows up, not just when we say Sasquatch every
Oh.
time. But like the best character is clearly the Sasquatch because he just shows up, wrecks every.
Oh.
Yep. That I'm already sick of it. I'm already sick of the joke. But yeah, when the creature
There we go.
shows up and just brutally kills pretty much everyone. That's really the best part because the kills are all
Hmm.
like really goofy.
No, I love especially when it's like they're like you see them ripping, you see it ripping the limbs off,
Mm.
and they'll just use that little computer edit to cut off like the limb it looks, and then it's just one of those fake rubber ones you probably get like a during Halloween time to put in your yard for the
Yeah.
decorations.
And remember when he drinks the blood out of one of them
Yes, he'll
like a cup.
drink out of it, yeah, like a glass almost,
You hear
just
that?
chugging it down.
What was your favorite
Or
kill? What was your favorite Sasquatch kill?
ooh,
And why was it the director when he killed the director when they were fishing?
oh yeah, when he rips the heart out and then just kind of throws it at the other guy, and you think it kills him, but it just kind of knocks him out.
No. You're thinking of. I'm
Or are you
talking
thinking,
about when because that's the director who gets killed in that scene. Actually, I
oh wait, that
checked.
was the director in that
That's the
scene?
director in that scene where he goes up and he rips like his guts out, and then the
Yeah.
Suburban just shoves it into his mouth.
Yeah.
He just ripped it out. And he's like, "Now eat it."
Eat your heart out.
Yeah, eat your heart out. And of course, there's the
Uh,
great scene where he rips the arm and he throws it at the guy and knocks him
mm-hmm.
in the river, and you think he's dead. Which would have been
Yeah.
way more funny as a comedic bit, but they went the realistic route because you get hit in the with a decapitated arm, you're probably not gonna die.
Yeah, and then he just kind of wakes up a couple minutes later.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a couple minutes
Well,
later,
it's
but
a
time has passed.
couple minutes in the movie, I should say.
Yeah, it is true. But a lot of the kills are kind of fun. Mainly the hunting party.
Yes, the
That's
hunting
one of the best.
party.
Which also the
Yeah,
director's in
it's
that
a
scene too. He's
bear.
wearing a wig in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, this might be a bear. We're men. We can kill this thing.
yeah. It's really great. So the setup basically is the cop calls a hunting posse to basically go take out Bigfoot, and they basically seemingly almost kill him. They throw on a really small net that becomes CG,
Yes, the whole body and the whole net.
and it's just this weird wiggling mass of just CG netting. And then, in a shocking twist that no one could saw coming, Suburban Monster,
The monster.
the monster of this movie, successfully takes off the net, and then just proceeds just to kill everyone by like shoving them aside as they run up to him.
While shooting.
No, they wouldn't even shoot. They just started running up to him, and he just shoves them aside. They're like, ah, yeah, oh my god.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, just kind of throwing them off to the side, like, oh, that's nothing.
It's Bigfoot. Enough of talking about the big pectoral thing. Let's
Those
actually talk about the other characters in this movie that exist. We have the reporter,
Rick.
Rick, who wants to become big
Yes.
reporter, and he just needs his big break, which might be
He
these
needs
murders.
that one story.
What he needs is pictures of Spider-Man, and then he could easily get a job. But unfortunately, he's not living in fucking New York.
He's not at the Daily Bugle.
Unfortunately, he's in a fucking small town.
He's in some kind of he's somewhere in the suburbs. Obviously, not in like in IMDb it says it was filmed in Westchester, Pennsylvania. So pretty close to New York.
Maybe Spider-Man would have come by. Where was Spider-Man then? Why couldn't he come and stop the Suburban Sasquatch? Arrrrarrar, arrrrarrar. Oh yeah, off topic, but I watched some of the bonus feature stuff. The hunting party scene that happens in Dave Waskovich's dad's backyard. That's like the
Oh my god.
neato little factoid. Oh, and the aerial shots, he actually got onto like a plane to get those shots.
Oh, cool.
With the really crappy CG bird.
Oh my god, that bird.
All the birds are crappy CG.
Like I wrote this in my notes, but I said like the birds in Birdemic looked better than the birds in this.
Well, that's because those are just like actual pictures that are animated. He actually went out of his way to do a CG like model of the bird. He also did the CG modeling of the opening, which we didn't talk about.
Oh my god!
Like the cheap moon
sequence.
and clouds and trees. You think this is clearly an ad. Nope. He shows you like step by step the process of him making the wiring and like making the tree and stuff in the special features. He made that all by himself.
Huh.
It looks awful, but he made it himself, so we can give him a level of credit with those.
Like if I was grading his work, I'd probably give it like a C- because there was some effort in it.
My favorite CG bird was the one right at the end that jump scares you. It just swoops down. It just like flies directly into the camera.
No.
Oh wait.
Cheap jump scares are not my thing.
Oh damn. Well, geez, this film was ahead of the curve. It predicted the jump scare endings before they became super popular. This is a trailblazing film, Cole, and you need to give it the respect it deserves.
So yeah, it was before like, you know, your Paranormal Activities and all those other found footage crappy movies.
Yeah. Well, no, Blair Witch was, I think, pretty sure it's before Suburban
Blair
Sasquatch.
Witch was 99.
Yeah.
No. 99, 98, one of the two.
That was like 2000s. It might be 99 actually. I'm probably thinking of its sequel, the
Book of Shadows.
Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Ooh, maybe I should add that one to the list for maybe potential recommendations.
I mean, you could. I mean, we got two episodes are gonna be in October, so you gotta get at least one horror movie in there. But off topic, we need to talk about our characters. We talk about Rick, our reporter.
Yes.
We have the Indian lady, Tala. How the fuck? Her name just came to me right when I said it. I don't know why. I didn't remember her name at all until right now. And she's sent by request by her Indian grandfather, I think. It
was like her grandfather, and it's like this. It's like her first big mission, almost.
Yeah,
you could say.
The whitest guy ever is her.
Yeah, I was like saying that to myself. I'm like, yeah, this guy's totally not white.
Yeah, you can tell because when you're watching the background footage, the outtakes. When the smoke's not blowing his face, it's a pretty white-looking guy. Also, I don't know why, but they kept doing close-ups to his lips, and it's actually probably the most terrifying thing in the movie, where they kept doing that close-up when he's like talking on his lips. That's like, ew, no, don't show that.
Yeah, don't show that. Like, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, but she's tasked with hunting down the Suburban Sasquatch, she's doing these kills and stuff, and our last characters, who unfortunately the best characters in the movie that isn't the Sasquatch.
Yes. Steve, the cop, and the other cop.
I just call them Dumb and
John.
Dumber
Or was it John?
because they
I think it
feel
was
more like
John.
comedic characters than
Lots of
anything else.
comic relief among those guys.
But that's what makes them like the most fun because they actually have like the better
Hmm.
chemistry because Rick and Tala end up joining forces and they just bicker a lot.
Yeah, they just talk. They don't do much together well. They're just kind of blah.
Yeah,
But our cop guys,
they
yes.
have really good chemistry. I was waiting for them to
Good
make
chemistry,
out.
lots of good banter.
That's how they should have. Instead, because at the it's skipping ahead, but near the end, last 20 minutes, they attack the Sasquatch. They save a lady who says you can't beat Bigfoot. In the resulting fight, the big cop, he blows up a big propane tank, which leads to the Sasquatch running away, and then they walk off screen. And what should have happened is they should have made out. Maybe in the sequel, Suburban Sasquatch 2.
Electric
Arrrararrar.
Boogaloo.
Electric arrrararrar. Arrrararrar.
Yeah, that's Sasquatch for big. That's Sasquatch for Boogaloo.
Yeah, I mean they could. I mean it did get a Blu-ray release. If enough
Yeah,
people buy a
maybe.
Blu-ray, if you buy enough copies of Suburban Sasquatch, the Blu-ray, no, probably buy the DVD. Buy the DVD on Dave Waskovich's website.
Wait, he's got his own. Hang on, I gotta get it.
Oh,
Is it
I'll
just Dave
send you the
Waskovich?
link. I
Oh
have it in
my
my
god.
favorites. I'll send you it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you cannot buy the Suburban Sasquatch golden statue. That's no
Oh,
longer
what?
up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I have
man.
it. Don't worry. I bought it.
Wait, you have
I have it.
the
I'll
golden
later. I'll take a
Sasquatch?
picture of it. I'll take a picture.
Yes.
It's signed by like the director. I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to you. Hell, I'll even make it the thumbnail of this
Yes.
episode.
Yeah, my dad is kind of obsessed with Bigfoots and Sasquatches, and we have like a huge metal one in our yard. I'll send a picture to you maybe tomorrow morning, just because it'll be a little more brighter out.
That's fair, but yeah, you can still buy a regular wooden Suburban Sasquatch statue. Though.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, buy your DVD of Suburban Sasquatch there because I bet Waskovich will get more money out of it. He has a couple films actually. I bought one of them. I haven't seen it yet. Adventure on Haunted Hill or Adventure on Hill House or something. I might pick up some because I might recommend them if they're readily available for you on like Tubi or something.
Okay.
But yeah, he has his own website, Troubled Moon Films. That's what it's.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
his
I see it.
company, so that's where you want to go. But yeah, what was I talking about? Like,
The cops.
right, the cops. They're a lot of fun. We actually get backstory as we talked about already about one of them. They do show up to a lot of like the scenes of the crimes. There are a lot of scenes. Oh, and he has one of the funniest Sasquatch scenes is when the cop is in the car and he gets like attacked by the Sasquatch and he just shakes the car and it's like, whoa! And you get the great scene of where he picks up.
Oh, when he picks it up and just throws it.
He throws it, and it just gently falls to the ground. It's pretty great.
Not a lot of damage.
Not a lot of damage. Nope.
I mean, he could use a little flex tape, but
Why
It
do
didn't
you
huge
think it didn't get a
damage.
lot of damage, Cole? It was already fixed with flex tape. He used the flex tape that's like on his uniform. Cause it's like if you notice the uniform, it's not very a well made cop uniform. It's like got like
no,
couple
it
strips
looks
of
like
tape on it.
like a weird last second costume they almost made, and just kind of try to add a little more to it, like give it like a little more pizzazz or extra something to it.
Yeah, but basically what happens is Rick and Tala, Rick learns from Tala that the Sasquatch doing things. Rick decides this could be my big break, and I can team up with Tala, and we can take down the Sasquatch. That'll be my big story. And basically, probably about the time when they team up, I think that's when the story drops off for me. The movie drops off for me because you fall into a cycle of Suburban Sasquatch does something. Tala tries to kill a Sasquatch and fails. Tala blames Rick, and then they bicker, and then they leave, and then that repeats a couple times.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Watch, rinse, and repeat. It's pretty
Yeah,
much
I
it.
didn't. Yeah, care for them at all. Especially Rick would kind of annoy me sometimes with some of his dialogue.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. He just kind of irritated me.
he was
with
kind of whiny about, I need my big break, and this is going to be it, and, Haley, this and that. And to remember, technically, even though Tala, he is the one that beats the Suburban Sasquatch at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
For he takes the shot with the magic arrow into the Sasquatch's heart, which I guess is apparently a plasma ball, because once he gets shot, plasma arcs just shooting out of him, and then he just dies.
Just right there.
Just right there in his grandma's house. I do want to
Hmm.
say it. All the minor characters are like a ton of fun.
Like the grandma and all that.
Like I know, I think every single minor character that shows up to just be attacked by a suburban Sasquatch is like great in this movie.
Oh yeah, like the
Like
guy with his dog and those two people in the beginning that are like going to a party, I think it was, or
yeah, and they
something.
just get like murdered, or like the
Yeah, and then the
pair of
Sasquatch
hikers
like yeah, in the beginning where the Sasquatch basically splits that guy's
head open like a
face and crushes
watermelon,
his skull.
or
But
they'll
then you see the next shot and it's just
it's
his
just
head's
back,
fully intact like usual.
or like the hikers, and when they're running
Yes.
away and one gets like hit trips. And she turns back
Hmm.
and goes, no! And then she just turns around and keeps running, just leaving her friend to die.
Yeah, because she had to get to the car and tell the police or
No, she just got
something like
killed.
that. Yeah, and then she just got torn apart by the Sasquatch.
And she didn't do anything. Or one of my favorite is, they're right before our very last cop scene, where we have the lady who mentions you can't beat Bigfoot or you can't kill Bigfoot. The scene where she's like, "There's something outside. There's something bad going on outside," and the husband just opens the door and there's a Sasquatch. There he is.
Gary. Yeah, and this husband just like opens the door. He's like, "Yeah, there's nothing out here, honey." Well, and I heard something. I'm calling the cops. And then you see some kind of shadow, and then he opens the door, not even like checking with like a weapon or something
He
in his
doesn't peek
hand.
through the window or look through the people. No, just opens the
No, he
door.
just opens the door like, "Oh, who's
Oh,
this?"
that's the Sasquatch, and he goes, "Arr, arr." Yeah, there's a lot of fun. Like I said, the Sasquatch, best character of the movie. Behind the cops are great. If the actual characters as the cops, the Sasquatch is great. The costume design is awful in the best way possible because it's just this like regular costume, this weirdly painted pectoral, big nippled mess.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I don't know. Yeah. Anything that you liked that hasn't been mentioned yet?
Hmm. Oh, lots of like the sound effects too were kind of weird because like the footstep sounds like didn't feel like they matched with what the footsteps would
It was
sound like.
like
Yeah, it was like more loud and crunchier, but they weren't in like woodsy areas. It was, as the title suggests, a suburban park area.
yeah. Oh, when
There's
you
not as
speak
much.
of the sound design, you can't forget how sound clips would just cut to place the next one.
Yep.
Like mainly with our
Yeah, or whenever yeah, the Sasquatch rips off limbs and starts like either eating them or slurping up the blood and
or
just having those stock drinking and eating sound effects on there.
yeah, and don't forget gunshots. I don't think gunshots ever
Yes.
overlap. They always get like cut off for the next shot.
Yeah, and then when you see like the flash from the muzzles, it's that kind of almost Microsoft Adobe After Paint kind of effect.
Yeah. Also, the CG in the film's really weird too.
Yes.
It's only in
Like
it a
as we
couple
mentioned before,
times, so it stays funny though. Luckily.
it does. Like as we mentioned before, the Sasquatch getting caught in the net, and then when they're calling Steve the cop and saying, "We got Bigfoot, we got him,"
And they poke him in the butt with his gun,
and then he comes back.
and then he comes back and fucking kills them all by lightly shoving them off to the side.
And he ripped one guy's arms off too.
Yeah,
He loves ripping the arms off,
and
especially.
then flinging them off so the camera can get a cool shot of the limb flying over like a car or something.
Yep.
And he can also grow taller too. Don't forget.
Yes, he could grow taller. As I said, also he can vanish and just appear somewhere else.
I guess we missed out on two things. So I want to get your thought process because it's
Oh, okay.
revealed that the suburban Sasquatch has been kidnapping. He's kidnapped a couple women into a
Yep.
cave, and they never expressly say what it is that he's doing in there. I was assuming it was graping, so that way he can get another Sasquatch, but it's never really stated. So I want to get your take on it.
I never really went into that, but now when you come to think of it, I wouldn't disagree with that, but maybe it's more of like other torture methods, maybe. Like he's keeping the but then again he doesn't really kill the women except for like those two hikers.
Well, we never see
Hmm.
the other woman in the
Yeah.
cave ever again after that scene where they talk, though. So that's like a thing.
Maybe he keeps some of them as like a for torture or something maybe like that.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be surprising.
I think it's a reproduction thing because because this film actually kind of delves into deeper. It's not just your standard boring suburban Sasquatch movie. This thing has talks about nature and your place in life and all that stuff. And I'm assuming that the nature element it plays heavily into the part of the Sasquatch because I think Tala does mention that he's been a lot more active because of these developments. And you get scenes people going like, "Oh, they built these new houses are being built," or the two fishermen they're like, "Oh, that new highway scaring off all the fish." So I do think there is a level of like nature and being kind of taken over and stuff and all of that, and that's kind of like partly why the Sasquatch is so active.
All right, actually, two things I just thought of.
Okay.
So in the IMDb trivia, it says that in a 2017 interview, director Dave Wescovich revealed that at its heart, this movie is about family. That's what's so powerful about it.
It's a film
So
about
maybe,
family.
but there's no Vin Diesel though, so that's kind of sad.
There's no divine either.
No,
Those films are about family.
no, yeah. And the second thing, after you mentioned like the houses, I love the like weird editing when the Sasquatch was eating with like the bone crunching, and then it's cutting to that one lady who's eating the hot dog while driving. That one was just, I was curious as to why, but then I was like, chef's kiss, this is wonderful. This is what I like in my trash cinema.
You clearly probably got a lot more out of this than I did. Clearly, luckily, actually, on my rewatch, I do kind of enjoy it a bit more because the first time I watched it with friends, and we were pretty bored when we were watching it. But now watching it on my own with like kind of like a
Mm,
fresher perspective now. It might have been because I watched way more like shittier stuff now. Because I think back when I first watched this, I've only seen some like really truly crappy stuff. So I did. I now that I've had like the full
okay.
experience, I think I can get more out of Suburban Sasquatch, and it's do it yourself kind of style, which I think I can kind of really enjoy. Suburban Sasquatch is that everyone seems to be really into this movie. Everyone's giving it their all. There's no real sense of half-assing it in here.
Yeah, you can definitely see they're having like fun with it, and the tone really doesn't take itself too seriously. And
It
that's
takes
why
itself a
I kind of
little
had fun
bit
with it.
seriously when it goes into its nature talks, but those are usually the weaker elements because you're here for Sasquatch. Uh, I don't know. Is there anything else you'd like to say about? Because I think I've said everything I
Huh.
want out of Suburban Sasquatch. Anything else you wanna mention?
I mean, looking at my notes, not really. Kind of touched on everything on that. Just a lot of funny moments in it. It's honestly one of my more favorite films, I would say, when discussing these.
That's good. Damn, I picked a winner, son of a bitch. I
Yeah.
picked a good movie on accident. No, I have to retire. I must commit Sudoku.
In
I'm
Minecraft.
in Minecraft. I have to confront the Suburban Sasquatch. But I've said everything I want to say about Suburban Sasquatch. So I think we're good. And
Mm-hmm.
so
I think so too.
yep, so take it away, Cole.
All right. So now, after we've talked about both of them, Ninjedi, which one is your favorite of the two?
Well, I feel like it might be a bit obvious. I was kind of ready before I watched both of these movies again to give it to Reefer Madness because of what I thought the movie would be and how I already had my thoughts on Suburban Sasquatch. I thought Reefer Madness would run away with this. But while I did not hate Reefer Madness, and I don't think it's really bad of a movie, I had more fun watching Suburban Sasquatch.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to give it to the Sasquatch movie.
I
That
will have to say
Wascally Wascovich.
I will have to go with Suburban Sasquatch too. I had a lot more laughing and chuckling moments throughout than just some of the more, and there's more entertaining scenes than in Reefer Madness.
Yeah. So that's another point for me. I'm
And
back on
another
top
point for
again.
the modern.
Another pro for modern. That means it's 3-1. I'm got 3. You have 1.
And it's
And
3-1 modern versus retro.
yep. Retro. We Plan 9. We've peaked with Plan 9 apparently.
Yeah, modern's on a 3 episode streak.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Evil Bong. Billionaire
Kevin
Boys
Spacey,
Club.
Billion
Kevin
Boys.
Spacey's Billion Boys Club. And Suburban Sasquatch. But now it's question time.
Yes. Pizza
Uh,
time.
yep,
Sorry,
pizza
question
time.
time.
Question time. Spider-Man, where were you when the Suburban Sasquatch attacked that town in Philadelphia?
Yeah, he was probably fighting the lizard or maybe
Fucking no
Dr.
excuses.
Octopus.
We don't have a lot of questions this week, unfortunately. But I did manage to get one from a friend, which I'll
Okay.
say for the end. We got 2 really good ones. We got a meme one. So we'll just have a meme
A
sandwich
mean
here.
one.
So first question comes from Mattias, which is, what are some of your childhood traumas, i.e. pieces of media that terrified you as a child? Let's not list, like, every horror film we've, like, seen as a kid. Let's try to keep it a little bit more different, with probably, like, the exception of, like, Goosebumps or something. Like,
I actually have one in mind right away.
Okay.
This is going to be a little weird, but there was an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick were like taking care of Sandy's pets, and one of them was Wormy.
Oh, I remember that episode.
And when he blossoms into the butterfly, I remember when like they did like that close up shot of the butterfly with like that buzzing sound effect.
Yeah.
It freaked me out every time. Like I had to hide behind a chair. And that episode, it was probably when I was like, I think 6 maybe when that released, and it just terrified me. Maybe not terrified, but made me very unsettled, I would say.
That's a good one. We'll just do back and forth a bit. One of mine is we actually watched this film for a film club, but Treasure Planet. There's 2 scenes specifically. The first one is the black hole scene where the admiral.
Oh yes, the admiral and
the admiral gets dropped
yes.
into the black hole by that like bug guy, and
Yeah,
that
the
scene
lobster
always
guy who
terrified me as a kid. To the point where I'd actually, whenever we watch it, I would leave the room for that whole scene, and I wouldn't come back till like much later into the movie, since I didn't know when the scene would end without having to come in and check. So I'd just be like 10 minutes of like not watching the movie before I come back for the rest.
That's funny.
The other scene is kind of when the planet, the treasure, like breaks apart and is getting destroyed, and the 2 pirates fall and die.
Mm-hmm.
That one also got me. Not as hard as the admiral dying, because that's such a big scene in the movie.
That was a pretty big scene.
But yeah, that specifically, that's a one for me. Now back to you. We'll do one more regular one, and then our last one will be like our biggest childhood trauma.
Ooh.
So like here's your second one.
Honestly, another one too, kind of going back like to the childhood nostalgic shows. Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I know it's kind of a basic one, but I remember like we weren't allowed to watch it, but whenever I would try and sneak it, a lot of the imagery in that definitely would be nightmare fuel.
Luckily for me,
Don't know how that was for kids.
I did not
all.
get those super scary episodes that everyone lists off. When people go like, oh, like the Pharaoh's Curse episode, or the one with like the scary like violin girl. Like, I didn't see any of those episodes. I don't know how I didn't, because I watched Courage the Cowardly Dog a lot. But I always somehow avoided those episodes somehow. But another one for me, another kind of, this isn't a, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but there's a Disneyland sing-along. I think I posted about it being a childhood trauma for me, but there's a VHS tape. It's a Disneyland sing-along tape, which basically is just an advertisement for Disneyland with like songs from like the Disney movies. But there's one specific song and like video for the Haunted Mansion ride where they sing like this, like the Haunted Mansion theme, and the video is actually genuinely kind of creepy. And like the song's creepy. Like I'll send you the tapes on YouTube. So I'll send.
I was about to say,
you.
if you want to send me it, because it sounds vaguely familiar, but maybe not.
I will definitely send it to you, because that section always like scared me like as a kid. And it is generally actually kind of creepy. Like, as an adult now, it's more charming. But if you put yourself in the mindset of like a child who's like gets scared easily, the song's actually and the video itself is actually pretty creepy. It might freak you out.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would have freaked me out as a kid because I was like easily scared of anything
Okay, now throwing it
most
back
of the
to you,
time.
your biggest childhood trauma that shook you to its core from media.
Oof. Yeah, this one took me a bit to think of. Mostly because sometimes I just don't remember stuff like that, but anytime this is also gonna sound like a little basic and weird, but like anytime like those Saw commercials would come on, every time Billy the Puppet showed up, I could not sleep.
Oh,
Like every like do you ever do that thing, when you were a kid where you had to walk through a hallway with the light on and then whenever you turned off you like kind of sprint away?
yes.
That was the kind of guy I did. Because I
Uh,
was afraid like it was like right behind me, like gonna kill me or something, or Chucky was gonna come by too.
okay, I'll go back to me. And speaking of Chucky, my biggest trauma was not Chucky, but something similar to it. It's an episode of The Twilight Zone, which I watched with my dad like a ton. And there's one specific episode, which is the talking doll episode.
Hmm.
That shit traumatized. It's basically about a doll that hates like the father, or technically the stepfather, and basically cannot be destroyed. It has like basic lines where it's like, I'm talking Tina and I like you.
Nope.
But when the stepfather gets the toy, talking Tina goes, I'm talking Tina and I don't like you. And
Mm-mm.
eventually, like the
Mm-mm.
stepfather tries to destroy the doll and he can't. He tries burning it. He tries cutting it with like a buzz saw. It doesn't work. It even goes ow when it tries.
Huh.
And then at one point it goes, I'm talking Tina and I'm going to kill you. Like it's funny, but as like a kid, that's like fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
So basically, he manages to stop it by like barricading it in like a trash can so he can't get out. But he eventually has a change of heart and gives the doll back to the girl. And then the doll goes, I'm talking Tina, and I don't forgive you. And then at the end of the episode, the stepfather hears something and he goes out and he's about to walk down the stairs, but he steps on like the talking Tina doll, which makes him trip. He falls down and dies. And then the wife run downstairs in a shock, and then she picks up the talking Tina doll, and the doll goes, I'm talking Tina, and you better be nice to me. And of course, because this
Oh.
is a Twilight Zone episode, not Goosebumps, where they really ham up the fucking, like, the dolls, this one's played so straight. So you can probably understand why that traumatized me for so
Oh yeah, I
long.
could see that.
Like, oh my god, but it's such a good episode, but I was terrified for fucking years. And of course, because my dad watched it, she does the I'm talking Tina thing for fucking forever to fucking make me terrified.
Wait, I just remembered another one too right away,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
That's fine. Go for it.
Wallace and Gromit.
Is it the
There
dog?
was yes, the
Yeah.
robotic dog. I remember when watching that, like sometimes my parents would have like a date night, or like our grandparents would watch us.
Yeah.
And seeing that robotic dog sometimes was just unsettling because you're like, oh yeah, they won, they saved the day, and then nope, this dog comes back, it's a robotic monster, and
Yeah.
then it gets shredded up.
I guess since you do, I'll do one more. Mine is a bit of a double feature because there's one that was actually
Ooh.
because there's one scene that scared me, but there is another separate, the same scene but in a separate media that I think was even scarier. So there's the because in Toy Story, might already know where I'm going with it, but there is the Sid's Toys
Oh,
Rebellion.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Like the Sid's toy
But I'll
reveal
keep
scene's
going.
pretty freaky with the baby doll because that's shot like straight up as a horror thing. But one that I found scarier was when all of Sid's toys in the scene where rise up and
Mm-hmm.
basically scare Sid into like fear. That scared me more. Like I actually had legitimate nightmares of like my like toys coming to kill me. But there's a PC version of the game, which is kind of a bit more of like an interactive like read along section
Wait, of Toy Story?
of Toy Story. It's a PC
Okay.
game. But there's two. There's a read along version or there's an interactive version. But when it reaches the Sid's Toy Rebellion scene, it's a POV shot. It is you are pretty much Sid, and how it works, you click and his toys will rise up and they will attack Sid, and Sid will scream, no, no. as they like go over to you. It's like actually genuinely freaky.
Oh my god.
Like it's probably not as bad because I could probably I'll look it on YouTube see if I can find it. But it's like it freaked me out as a kid too.
Huh.
So there we go. That's our childhood traumas
There
that
we
you can
go.
use against us now, Mattias. You know what films hit us hard. Now you can use it against us later. Our next question, this is our meme question. This is our filling on our meme sandwich here, is from Timmy. Would
Oh
you
yes.
rather watch Venom 3 or Morbius 2?
Venom 3.
Morbius 2.
Ooh, divisive.
Yeah, this is our first actual true split opinion we've ever had.
All right, here. Okay, I'll explain mine.
Okay.
I have more fun watching the Venom movies. I know they're not good, but damn it, whenever you get the scenes with Eddie Brock and and Venom as the symbiote, it's just I find it hilarious. It just I love the chemistry between them. It's so funny how they banter and have these differing agreements. Like the Venom symbiote wants to eat the people, but Eddie's like no, and then they decide on who, and then they kind of come to agreement about what they can and can't do. And I just kind of have ironic fun with it. And then obviously Venom has the iconic Eminem song,
Venom! Venom! Gonna give me some denim!
which was
Venom!
not, which then disappointed in Venom 2.
You
It
did
was
not
not
get the
good.
denim.
Yeah, we didn't get Venom or Carnage. Very disappointing in you, Eminem.
Carnage. Gonna give me some varnish. Carnage.
Knock, knock, let the devil in.
My reason, well, first off, I haven't seen Venom 2, so I'm gonna be saying lore context for Venom 3. But also, I don't have much of an interest in Venom. I did watch it. I saw Venom in a theater, with a friend's friend, so it was actually really awkward. And I think I was the only guy in the theater that wasn't having a good time watching Venom. Like, people were, like, clapping and hooting and hollering.
Really?
They were having a blast. They laughed at, like, almost every joke.
That's
and
weird,
I was
like,
just going, what the fuck
never
is
had
going
those experiences
on?
really in theaters.
I don't know. I guess everyone's hardcore Venom fans. Maybe they were thinking that Tom Holland's Spider-Man was going to show up or something. Maybe they didn't know it was a Disney Marvel movie.
I mean, this is a little spoiler for Venom 2, but there is a post-credit scene in that one where they obviously
I listened to Sardonicast. I know that Ralph won the bet.
Yep.
And I don't care what people say. Ralph won the bet. Just stop being whiny babies.
Yeah, they tried to like twist the knife on what it meant, but that's just even if they didn't meet, they still did combine their multiverses.
Yeah, just take the L already. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy Venom. I won't say that I love Morbius, but I enjoy the memeage that the first Morbius has. And I would see, even if I saw it in like the worst way possible, but I'm not going to talk about that until we get to our final question.
But I will say this too. The Morbius memes were better than the Gentle Minion memes.
Yeah. Well, Morbius was always doomed to fail, which is why it makes it so funny that we managed to trick Sony to think he was actually successful somehow. Where Minions was always going to the scene because it's a done baby movie, so parents are going to take like all 10 of their children and buy 11 tickets to see it.
Or your aunts with their cringy Minion memes on Facebook.
I saw Minions 2 in theaters, but that's because I saw the first Minions, so I was like, why not?
I saw the first Minions in theaters.
Why? You're the problem.
Because you're the reason why we got stuck with Minions and we decided to.
God damn, what's wrong with you?
It wasn't my fault. I was kind of dragged in.
You should have just faked, I don't know, diarrhea.
I was about to say, like, I got diarrhea. I can't go.
Yeah. But Morbius 2 has memeage, and if Morbius 2 gets made, it's because of the memes. And I have to see it for the meme magic alone, I feel like. Also, we get the have sex scene, and I think that was also pretty great. Have sex.
The most powerful scene in that is going to be the scene taught in film classes.
Yep. That was my, I can't fucking think of the joke. I couldn't think of something funny to say. God damn it.
That was your Avengers Endgame.
That was my Avengers Endgame.
That was your Black Panther.
That was my Black Panther moment. I was like, that's me. That representative of me. Have sex. Get on the floor. I
found the song. I found the song on Spotify, and I have it in a playlist with songs from movies and a meme playlist.
And I think to be fair to Morbius, I actually think it is probably actually a pretty fun, so bad it's good movie because there is some really dumb shit in that film that I think you can't get ironic enjoyment out of. Like I
I
know
would say
some
take
people are
out
gonna be
Jared
like
Leto.
it's just a bad film, but I think there is some genuine funny things, like the scene where the blood machine when their children breaks, and how does he fix it? He just like gets a spring out of a pen, and he just puts in the machine, and then their doctor's like, it took 10 doctors to scientifically figure out this work, and you figured it out in like 2 seconds. And it's like he just put a fucking middle spring in a fucking box. He could have put AA batteries in the fucking thing, and you would have been impressed. What's wrong with you?
That's like the equivalent of unplugging and replugging the router for turning on the Wi-Fi again.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd rather see a Morbius 2. No offense to all you Venom fans, but honestly, I think Venom probably peaked with the first film.
Yeah, like
Uh,
I don't even think the Venom movies again are like good. They're like average, but I had more fun with them. Morbius just felt like there wasn't too much, but the memes are more powerful in Morbius though.
I say well, don't rewatch it now, but eventually, I have a feeling we're going to be talking about Morbius either here or Film Club. And
Jesus.
I'd recommend, I think if you rewatch it, you'd probably get more enjoyment out of it, I think.
Probably.
Like, you just
I
have to
mean,
watch it at home.
I will be doing a can standing ovation after the movie ends then.
Yeah, you'll do your 10-minute
Like you know those like
applause
yeah, those
that
10-minute
Southland Tales
applause and
got.
I think that was the reverse. It was booing.
Vice versa.
Release the fart cut, Richard.
Release the fart cut, Richard. Maybe you release it, you'd get to make Southland Tales 2. Well, no, he's already making Southland Tales 2. Maybe if you
Mm-hmm.
release the fart cut, I'd actually want to watch Southland Tales 2. But, yeah.
But alas.
So I'm Team Morbius. Cole's Team Venom.
Venom.
It's Morbin time, baby.
It's Morbin time.
You know, if they do make a Morbius 2 at the line, it's
Oh,
Morbin
you know
time
they're gonna add
will
that in
be
there.
in it, and I'm gonna stand and clap so hard at the movie theater. Like I'm
Just like those meme videos
yes, but for
where they make
real.
it say he's saying Morbin time.
I'm gonna get as many friends as possible to Morbius 2, and when he says it's Morbin time, I'm gonna tell them you're only here because I want you all to stand up and clap when he says it's Morbin time, and
I
cheer.
love also on YouTube the clips where it's the Illuminati scene from Doctor Strange, and they have Michael Morbius, and it's everyone just going insane.
Yeah, it's pretty great. But yeah, I think that wraps up
It's so
our
good.
question. There you go, Timmy. Now you can use that against us later as well. Manny's can use our childhood traumas. You can use our divisive opinions on which one we'd rather watch. So the next question I actually got from a friend that I talked to. He said, "Oh, ask this question. It'd be a pretty fun one." Our final question: what is your best and worst movie theater experience? So
Ooh,
not specifically what best movie you saw at like a theater, but rather
yeah,
what
yeah,
was your
yeah.
best like experience you got out of it. And your
Hmm.
worst too, because there's not all of them. I'll list a couple small ones. Well,
Yeah, I
there's
need to
one
think about that.
small one I have, but I
I'll
wore
think of one
my.
for good. I know one for bad though.
I have one bad
Oh shit,
one,
maybe a couple.
and I have two
Yeah.
bad ones actually, but one's more interesting than the other. I feel like, and I got some good ones too. But a small moment was I went to the theater. I remember. I think it was everywhere, anything, anywhere, all at once.
Everything ever all at once.
I think it was that because I know it was a movie I saw with my sister, and I wore my "Cool Cat Loves You" shirt, and then
Oh my god.
someone, an employee at the theater, recognized it. She's like, "Oh my god, Cool Cat!" And I was like, "Yep, that's me. I'm the Cool Cat guy." And that's a little moment. I do have genuine, actual in the
Oh my
theater good
god.
moments, but that's a funny little small one that happened.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you have one? You want to have a good one? If you we start with a good, end with the bad, because we're a bad movie podcast.
Actually, I want to start off with I got a couple bad ones, and those are the ones that came to mind right away.
Okay, so if you want to start, that's fine. You can start with either one, really.
So the first one is this is the only movie I have ever walked out of before it finished. Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for a later episode.
Yeah, the movie, it's on my letterbox list of most hated movies. It's just so bad. Like, I get Robert De Niro's like, he's, trying to have fun in his older age, but it was basically the same joke about how he's just a horny grandpa. Like, the first scene we get together with Zac Efron and Robert De Niro, he walks in and Robert De Niro jerking off. And you're just going, oh, it's going to be this kind of movie.
And then you're
And then
like,
they're like,
and that's it.
no, it was like more at the halfway point when I did. Like they were like sleeping in a bed and then he like plops his dick in front of Zac Efron's face. I'm like, are you kidding me, Robert?
How many
This
times you saw his deck before you had to leave, before it was too much?
twice.
2 times. One for each hand.
Yeah, and I was just like,
2 hand jobs
really?
down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it just felt weirder when it was Robert De Niro out of all people.
Were people
Like,
laughing?
no, it was like silent.
Wow.
It was a lot of cringe humor, I will say. Yeah,
How far into the movie did you have you actually seen the ending of the film?
I actually finished it like a couple years later, just because I was like, fuck it.
Unfinished trauma you had to deal with.
I think I don't remember at the minute mark. I think it was like maybe 45 minutes in, 40 maybe. But then my brother was seeing The Force Awakens again, so actually my dad also walked out too, so we both walked out, just watched the end of The Force Awakens again.
How was the ending of The Force Awakens?
Still fun.
Was it better than Bad Grandpa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, no, no. Bad Grandpa, that's the jackass one that's funny.
Oh. Well, I haven't seen Bad Grandpa.
Mm. Yeah, that's a better Dirty Grandpa movie. Yeah, and then the other one, you're gonna wonder why, but
Wait, no,
Cats.
hold on. You had your one. Let me go
Aw,
back to me. I'm gonna
okay.
give a good one because I'm saving my bad ones for that.
Ooh.
But this one also involves a terrible, terrible movie. It was opening night. I dragged a couple friends to go see this movie with me because I thought we'd have a laugh. It starred Joey King, and
Yes.
that
The
film
Queen
was
herself.
Slender Man. We
I
go
have
in,
a
it's opening night. It's pretty full theater. It's not like packed to capacity, but there's like at least
Okay.
40 people here to get a good scare because it was probably about October or right before October, but it was pretty
Hmm.
close to October at least. And we're watching this movie. The movie goes, people are leaving. And there's probably about 40 people in this theater when it started. And at the end of the movie, as I look around, there's like 10 people left in this theater, and 4 of them are me and my friends. Over like 30 people left the theater because the movie was that bad. It was magical.
Oh my
The
god.
movie was awful, but the fact that I got to see every like 5 or 10 minutes a couple people leave, and then looking around realizing, oh my god, there's only like 10 people left in this theater, was amazing. Oh my god, it was great. I tell this story a lot when I talk to people about like theater experiences, but like I've never experienced that ever to that extent. Like I've seen people leave the theater before because they weren't into the movie, but I've never seen it to such an extent, and it was glorious.
Yeah, that was a movie I couldn't see in theaters because it was banned in my county
Right, because
because
the
I was in the
stabbings.
county where the stabbings happened. Just about, oh god, maybe like 10, 15 minutes away from where I live, maybe.
Oh, where the stabbing happened?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I
Oh my
don't remember
god.
the exact park it was in, but yeah,
Oh my
it
god.
was in like one of the cities that was pretty close to where I am.
Wow. That's actually kind of crazy. Like
It
I
was.
knew you were in Wisconsin. I didn't know you were like that close to that
Yeah,
event. Holy
I'm in the
crap.
same county as that happened.
Wow.
I just want to see if they put the park down or something. David's Park.
If only Suburban Sasquatch was there that night, he could have stopped it. I'm sorry, that was really bad. Oh, I'm so sorry to like the family.
Oh.
Oh, I hope they never. No
So
one.
like three families involved.
Oh my god, someone is going to watch this and they're gonna like at the
They're gonna
family
cancel
with this
you.
clip. I'm canceled. I'm getting Nefarious Reels canceled by episode 4.
Yeah, that park. I just searched it up in Google Maps. It's 12 minutes away from where my house.
Wow. By
And
the
I
way,
remember that being like the talk in my high school because one of the girls that did the stabbing was a granddaughter of like one of our teachers from our middle school too.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you in a town where everyone knows everyone?
No, not exactly. It was just like when the word of mouth came out about the certain perpetrators, then they just kind of connected the dots and was like, "Oh, that was our sixth grade science teacher's granddaughter."
This
I'm obviously not going to name names,
this
but
thing has turned a morbid turn. Let's get back on topic now. Enough about
okay,
this
yeah, yeah.
tragedy.
I'll do a brighter bad movie experience. Cats.
You watch Cats in theaters?
Yes. My sister, she had like one of those magic review like Marcus Theater points, and like so we got tickets for free. So we're like, fuck it, we'll save it for Cats.
Nice. Good call.
And it was the most dreadful experience ever. Like I had to walk out and just walk around the theater for like maybe 10 minutes.
You're weak, Cole.
I was so bored. I didn't even realize the movie was like 2 hours long.
Wow.
Like my brother was sending Snapchat stories of clips from the movie while it was happening.
Wow. Oh my god. So your dark one's just you sat through another miserable movie.
Yes, basically.
Uh
There I actually I know we're not I know I'm cheating a little bit, but I actually do remember one a little bit. The when I saw The Invitation a couple weeks ago,
oh yeah, I saw that too.
there was like this family that was in it with like their kids, and I was like, don't they know this is rated R? But you could but and they were like in the row like behind us, so like I would hear them talking. They had their phones on with the lights, and that was kind of annoying. So that was probably my least fun experience. But Cats is probably the most dreadful.
That no, that's fair. I had like another good experience in the back of my head. I forgot it. It involved an actual like a good movie too, and I don't remember what it was, and I'm just so
Ooh.
upset because I would love talking about. Oh, I had a really like good movie experience once, and I don't remember it, but maybe it will come back to me. So I guess I'll have to talk about one of my bad ones. I'll
Yes.
just follow your lead. I'll talk about a movie that was terrible.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it, but I feel so bad because I dragged a friend to watch it, and he really did not want to watch this movie. He was like, "No, let's watch it different." I was like, "No, no, no, trust me. We'll have a good time. We'll have a fun time riffing on it." We did not have a fun time riffing on it. You know what that film was? It was 2019's Black Christmas.
I have seen it.
Oh
I
man, poor
I
soul.
saw it on HBO Max though on streaming because I was like watching through like Christmas movies. I think it was last year. I think.
It's
And yes, that movie.
It's so bad. It was so miserable. I actually started like yelling at the screen at certain parts. I screamed, "Oh fuck off!" so loudly when frickin' the dude from Saw, Dr. Gordon, where she goes
Yes,
like,
Lawrence
"You're
Gordon.
crazy," and he's like, "No, we're men," and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, that
Ah!
line.
I shouted it out loud.
Yeah, that was a so like, and I remember hearing that it was a very rushed production,
It was
but it's
incredibly
still just
rushed. It's
its
clearly
commentary
edited
just
down all. Yeah, the commentary's
very
really
cringe.
very badly handled. Like
Like
if
it
you
could
want
have
to
done a much
do it,
better job
it's
with it.
fine. I'm not saying this is they shouldn't talk
Oh
about these
yeah.
things. It's
Oh yeah,
fine.
I totally agree.
But they did it really badly.
Yeah, they did a
It's
very piss
clearly
poor job
edited down from a more like rated or like dead like gory version.
because
And
they had to make it PG-13
yeah,
to appease to more people.
yeah. Well, apparently the director said I want to cut it down because I want it more acceptable to any girl to watch for this kind of thing. And I'm just like thinking, no, no, it's for money. You did it so you can get more people
It's
to watch
definitely
your
for
movie.
money.
Whether if it was for the director, I have a feeling that the producers like you have to edit out the dark or gross gory stuff because we wanna make this like more people to see it. Because I highly doubt it's because I edited it down so more females can see it because clearly you shot this movie to be more gory because you cut during scenes that would clearly be more visceral. It was so awful. It was so bad. I actually reimbursed my friend his ticket. Like,
I actually just checked your letterbox review on that, and that's what I just read.
yeah, I paid him back the money for like his ticket because he didn't want to see it. I made him watch, and I felt so bad. We watched some pretty bad
Mhm.
stinkers at theaters before that we were miserable. That was like a whole nother level of horrible.
Yeah, the original one's way better.
I haven't seen. I have the original one on Blu-ray. I've been meaning to watch it. I'll probably watch it when December rolls around. But I hated it. It was so bad. It's like the worst film I saw in 2019, honestly. Anyway, back to you, buddy.
Okay. If we're talking about good, just this past year actually, seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, but it was for the second time when I was on vacation in Austin, Texas, because my dad hadn't seen it, and my brother and I were just like, let's just go see it. There was an Alamo Draft House around the area. And just, you know how they don't have like the they have like those stricter rules, based on talking and texting and all that.
Yeah.
And just the theater experience was so nice. Not hearing a lot of like chitter chatter or anything, or even like whispering, and just people watching the movie, and it was so fun.
Nice.
I know it was a Marvel pick, but
No
you
one
know,
clapped when the hero showed up?
the first time I saw it in the theaters at home, they did. Well, this one actually pisses me off because they clapped when Andrew Garfield was on screen, but Toby, nothing.
Damn. Rip.
The meme lord got nothing.
Well, he did. If he showed up doing the dance, they would have clapped.
Yeah, that would have been true. Has like the slicked hair and telling people he's gonna rub dirt in his eye,
Yeah.
in their eye.
I fail to understand why that's my problem.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Yeah, that's the line. I couldn't remember it properly. It's been a while since I've seen Spider-Man 3.
My brother and I quote the Toby meme line so much, so it's like stuck in my head.
Nice. I'm glad you had at least one actual good movie theater experience, and it wasn't just all misery for you at movie theaters apparently.
Yeah.
I still can't remember my one other good
Mm-mm.
theater experience, really good theater experience I could list off.
I can bring up another one too if you want to, if you're still thinking.
I have my one bad one. I'll let you list your one more if I can't think of the other good one.
Okay.
I'll just do my last bad one that's worth mentioning.
This one's a little interesting because again, it was just more of how the movie was, but seeing Blade Runner 2049 in the theater too, with the surround sounds in the movie theater and how everything just felt and sounded was just glorious too. Denis, you're a mastermind.
Incredible. I haven't seen any of the Blade Runners. I need to.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch the original one. I got a Blu-ray that has like all the cuts of the movie from the theatrical one to I think it was the director's and then the final cut.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I found it like one of those discounted kind of movie stores, and they had it for like the Blu-ray of it for like $15, I think it was.
That's very nice. It's probably out of print and it's cost like over $100 if you try to buy it online.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it comes with like a little booklet too of like, if I remember, it's got not screenplay, but when they have like those pictures of like how scenes play out and all that, it's got
Yeah.
that stuff in there.
I couldn't think of the one, but I remembered another one. It's when also this year. It's when I went to see The Unbearable Weight of Incredible Talent.
Yes, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent,
Yeah,
the Nick Cage one.
Massive Talent. Yeah, I was the only person
My
in the
boy.
theater when I watched it.
You were the only person?
I was the only. There was one other person, but he left early on, so that allowed me to scream and clap and hoop and holler
Yes.
anytime Nick Cage did something cool, which was like all the time. It was
I have
great
only
to let loose like that.
Nice. Yeah, I've only had ever maybe one time where it was me in a theater. It was me and my sister when we saw Titan.
Oh, Titan.
Because we were both so interested in like the can
Right.
press it had and how fucked up it sounded. And we saw it at like, what was it? Maybe like 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. And yeah, it was just us. And we were like, yes.
Titan, the movie that was inspired from Southland Tales.
Yes. Julia Ducournau was inspired by Richard Kelly's piece of shit and made it better.
Yep. That one scene inspired her to make a whole movie around it. Well, time to sell my one big bad movie going experience. I kind of mentioned it in the last question. My Morbius viewing at a theater.
Oh, jeez.
So, when I went to see Morbius for the memes, I finally decided to commit to it.
For the memes.
I decided I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go see a 4DX screening of Morbius. Do you know what 4DX is?
Was it that one thing YMS was talking about in his Venom 2 review?
Yeah, probably.
It sounds familiar.
The movie, it's like you sit on it. It's like, you know those rides where you sit in the chair, you watch the screen, the chair's when you get sprayed with water. Well, it's that. Okay. But for...
Yeah, I think YMS talked about that once.
For a whole movie. So here's the thing. You know how when you do those 4DX ride things and how it's a lot of fun? Well, that's because it only goes on for a couple minutes. It gets unbearable when you're watching an over-hour-long movie. For starters, my first real big gripe is that I got like popcorn and snacks, and they have this opening cinematic where they move everything around, and then at one point they sprayed a bunch of mist. They had like this thing, like a little preview video where it had showed like the power of 4DX, where everything moved.
Oh.
At one point, it sprayed mist, and it got the top layer of my popcorn all soaking wet, so it became inedible. And for the most part, 40X is absolutely miserable. For starters, every time there's a fight and there's a hit of impact, it has this back thing that like hits your back like really hard, and like it hurts, and it probably like fucked up my spine. I have like super scoliosis now because of it.
Ugh.
The movements get like the quick movements get nauseating really fast. The water effect's actually kind of neat, but that's only because they use it like 2 times the whole movie, and it's for like the blood dripping down from the ceiling.
Hmm.
That's kind of neat. The smoke's kind of obnoxious. The only real consistently good effect, they have these like ankle kicker things, flipper things for like when the bats are like flying around. That's actually like is the only time I actually got actively immersed is when the flippers activate for the bats because they kind of felt like wings, and the blood drip thing they did with the water. The immersion does get a little ruined because you can actually see the water squirt from the seat in front of you, so that immersion kind of gets lost a little. But all the jerky movements get nauseating after a bit, and it makes it kind of scary to like take a sip from your soda because you're afraid there's gonna be a movie and you're gonna jab a straw in your eye. And the only good thing I can say, because I remember feeling when I left, I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't decide to see it, because originally I was going to do it for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I was going to see that in 40X, but I decided to do Morbius instead. And I'm like, thank God, because I did it in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I probably would have hated it. But yeah, Morbius, fun haha me movie, hated my viewing experience. I wish I went and watched the reissue they did.
So
So
you
that
didn't morb?
no, yeah, so I didn't get super morbiosis on my spine. I can watch it as it was intended, in a motionless chair.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say on your fucking phone.
No, I wouldn't watch it on my fucking phone. Get
Get
real.
real.
But yeah, that's kind of my bigger story of my Morbius experience. Any more stories on your end?
Oh, I had one in mind. Huh.
But you forgot it.
Yep, I forgot it.
Oh well, I can do. Because that's the end of our questions.
Yeah.
Anyway, take it away, Cole. Wrap us up.
All right, so that wraps up for questions, and now it is time for us to pick our or recommend our movies for the next episode. So, since I did the retro for this one, Ninjara is gonna do his recommendation for this one,
All
for the
right.
next one.
Yep. So
Yeah.
originally, I wasn't going to recommend this for next episode. I was actually going to save it, but then I realized, oh wait, because I didn't want to recommend 2 horror. I'm using horror in quotes here, films in a row because Suburban Sasquatch was my last pick. But then I realized, oh wait, if I don't recommend this one, I'll not have a I wouldn't have ended up recommending a horror film at all for October. So I moved this one ahead. We're doing 1989's Things.
Things?
Things by Andrew Jordan. That the director is Andrew Jordan. 1989 Things.
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 Okay.
That's what the movie's called. Things.
Not the thing.
Not the thing. Things. Not the
Hmm.
things. Things singular. Yeah, your turn. I picked
Okay.
what's your movie?
So yeah, this one I had another in mind, but then I was like, I remember watching this one last year, and I was like, I think you should watch this one too because this one actually is also kind of horror related. It is 2015's Lamageddon.
Lamageddon.
It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
Okay, well, hopefully you're cheating. You're picking good things. You cheater. Trying to
But it's
beat
still
me, my
bad.
non-existent score.
Yes, I'm trying to catch up.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't want to be spoiled for Things or Lamageddon, watch them before the next episode that we record.
And don't forget to ask questions in the YouTube comments, or if
Or
you're
on
on our
Discord.
Discord, you can go there too, because we need more questions. We only had 3. Come on, people.
Maybe I can also DM some people too, say they got questions or
Make
anything.
them ask questions for us. But yeah,
Or maybe force them.
force that gunpoint.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, you have a good day and a happy Morbius.
Happy Shrek also.
Happy Shrek.
Happy Morbius.